Okay guys, so after having watched this movie, I had one question, and it's not for you guys. It's for the Academy. Okay, Academy. Why did this movie not win any Oscars in 1994? Why? Anyway, hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another old movie review. Real quick guys, reason why I haven't been doing a lot of old movie reviews lately. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, when's your next old movie review? When is it coming up? Well, this is my next old movie review for this movie, but reason being, I've been really busy not only with doing other videos on YouTube in the last 2 weeks, because the last old movie review I did was for The Godfather, like 3 weeks ago. I was working on a short film, you know, I'm in the process of getting ready for college. I'm going to make an update video about all of this shortly, but that's pretty much why I've been busy and I haven't gotten to do old movie reviews. Nevertheless, I still do plan on doing several more within the next few weeks. I plan on it, so it's you know, it could change. Plans could change. But anyway, guys, so stay tuned for that update video and hopefully stay tuned for more old movie reviews. But anyway, guys, in this video, the next movie I have decided to watch for the first time is The Shawshank Redemption. Now, The Shawshank Redemption was released in 1994. It was directed by Frank Darabont, and it stars Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. And as I said earlier in the intro, this movie was very critically acclaimed, even though it had a very poor box office haul. It barely made back what its budget was, which is very upsetting, seeing that this movie is this good. I'm giving away that I like this movie already, yeah. But anyway, very poor box office haul, very critically acclaimed though. It was nominated for multiple Oscars, not winning a single one. Now, granted, 1994 was a very tough year for movies. It was a very tough competitive Oscar race. We had the three, that was a golden age for movies, as a lot of people say. We had Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, and The Shawshank Redemption, all three vying for Best Picture. Forrest Gump ended up taking it all in the end. Not saying that's a bad decision, but man, after having seen this movie, both movies really did deserve that award. Wow. Anyway, guys, that's all I really want to say, giving my initial thoughts on the movie. What I want to do right now is get into the plot synopsis of The Shawshank Redemption, of course, without spoiling anything, and then I'll get into a lot more of my thoughts towards the end of the review. But right now, I'm going to give the plot synopsis. Now, the movie is set in, well, the movie begins in 1947, and it is set through a period of years. And in the movie, one of our lead roles is Tim Robbins. Tim Robbins plays Andy Dufresne. He's a bank teller who is convicted and found guilty of murdering his wife and her lover, even though he's actually really innocent of the crime. He goes through the whole trial, is found guilty, and is sent to Shawshank State Prison. He becomes a new inmate there, and when he first arrives, he meets several of the other inmates, one of them namely Red, played by Morgan Freeman. Now, Red is the type of inmate who is sort of the go-getter. He's the type of guy, you ask him for something, you know, like an item, a specific item, a poster, a certain object that you want. He's the type of guy who'll get it for you. As long as you give him his pack of cigarettes or something, whatever you got to give him, you get it to him and he'll get what you want to you, okay? That is Morgan Freeman's character, Red, and the two of them sort of strike together a bond. They slowly grow a friendship together as they spend time in Shawshank State Prison. Meanwhile, Andy Dufresne has to deal with a very over-the-top religious fanatic warden, several very sadistic guards, and some really bully inmates, you know? And all of this is going on, and he is innocent of this crime that he was wrongfully convicted of. Okay? And the fact is, he feels, you know what, I have to do the best. I have to make the best of this situation and keep as much hope alive as I can, while Morgan Freeman's character kind of feels differently about that. And that's all I want to say getting into the basic synopsis of the film. That's basically the first half hour of the movie, of this entire 2-hour and 20-minute running time for the film. Now guys, The Shawshank Redemption, I'm just going to come out and say it, guys. This is one of those rare cases where the movie completely captivates you from scene 1 on. No lies, guys. The Shawshank Redemption is a masterpiece of cinema. That's it. That's it. I should end the review right now. That's it. This movie's excellent. Okay? No, I'm kidding. I'm going to keep going on. But, all kidding aside, guys, I don't know why I didn't see this movie earlier. I mean, I am shocked I am just watching this movie now. Same thing with The Godfather. I was so surprised I just watched that movie weeks ago. Same thing with Shawshank Redemption. I can't believe I just watched this movie now. And I had been missing out all these years on one of the most heartbreaking, touching, inspiring, uplifting films I've ever seen in my life. Okay? This is one of the best films ever made, period. Especially in regards to writing. This is one of the best written movies I've ever seen. Here's just to give you guys a quick example as to how much this movie captivated me and engaged me as an audience member. I started watching this movie a few nights ago, late at night. It was 11:30 I put this movie on. The previous night I had slept for 5 hours, so I was very tired. I watched this movie, I put it on, I laid down on my bed, and 9 times out of 10 when I watch a movie that late at night, I fall asleep. I didn't finish the movie until about 2:30, a little after that. And that's because, I had to pause the movie, get up, take a bathroom break, go get a snack, drink or something like that. And, and then I would continue watching the movie. I did not fall asleep once. Not once. 9 times out of 10 I fall asleep when that happens. This movie never put me to sleep as I watched it that late. And you want to know why that is? Because it's one of the most captivating, engaging films of all time. Especially in regards to its story, in regards to the 2 central performances from our 2 leads, the direction, the cinematography, the wonderful score by Thomas Newman. All of that is excellent in this movie, making it an absolute masterpiece of cinema and one of my favorite films of all time. Point blank. That is what I have to say about The Shawshank Redemption. Not to mention, it has one of the best third acts I have ever seen in a movie. Ever. One of the most satisfying endings I've seen in a movie as well. That is how good The Shawshank Redemption is. Now, guys, I must get into the cast for the movie, because I'm just going to completely praise this movie throughout the whole thing. And another thing, I don't want any of you guys to leave comments saying, you went into this movie predetermined to love it. This movie is #1 on IMDb's top 250 films of all time. So a lot of you are going to be like, oh, you went into the movie knowing you were going to love it. That's why you love it so much. No, guys, I'm not even kidding you. That doesn't always happen with me. Take a look at American Hustle, for example. I went into that movie thinking, you know what, this is going to be awesome. Everyone loves it. I hated that movie. One of the most overrated movies I've ever seen. So that doesn't always work for me. I walked in The Shawshank Redemption thinking, it's probably going to be a very good movie. I walked out saying, this is one of the best films I've ever seen. Okay? I just wanted to make that clear. Anyway, guys, getting into my thoughts on the cast, let's get into Tim Robbins playing Andy Dufresne. Now, Tim Robbins, he hasn't starred in a whole lot of movies, but this is definitely his biggest role to date, playing the central character of Andy Dufresne. And here's what I loved about Tim Robbins. Not only is this the best performance I've ever seen the man give, but he did such a good job portraying this character, because Andy Dufresne is one of the only prisoners who actually has some hope inside of him. And he's very quiet. He definitely keeps to himself. He's that type of character who's very smart, knows what he's doing, good with numbers, good with all that. He sort of integrates himself into the prison system, doing things for other prisoners, inmates, doing things for the warden, for the guards and everything. Very helpful, but he's also very hopeful. He's keeping that hope inside of him that maybe someday something good will work out for him, and maybe somehow he'll get out of this mess that he got himself into, even though he didn't do anything wrong. It's what I really loved about his character. He was intelligent. He knew what he was doing. There's moments where he sort of defeats the system in that he's not supposed to do something that the guards or the warden doesn't want him to do. He does it anyway. Something I really liked about his character. He was sort of a rebel in a scene or two, and I really like that about Tim Robbins. Excellent performance. Excellent. Now let me talk about the man one of our best actors, without a doubt, Morgan Freeman. Guys, do I have to get into Morgan? I said this in my 7 review. Do I have to get into how good Morgan Freeman is in this movie? The guy's excellent. He's on fire. He's on fire in everything I've seen him in. Morgan Freeman is pure brilliance in this movie. I loved him in nearly every single scene. He plays that character, like I said. He knows everything about the prison. He knows the insides. He knows the outside. Everything there is to know about the prison, he knows it. He's also playing a character who's struggling to get parole. He so bad wants to get out of there, but he doesn't have hope. He doesn't see the hope in this very desperate and dire situation he's gotten himself into. And he's a very wise character, and the way he just delivers his line, Morgan Freeman is just pure brilliance, alright? He is excellent in this movie. Another one of the best performances I've ever seen from him. And him as the narrator in this movie. My word, is Morgan Freeman one of the best narrators of our generation. His voice is just so soothing and calm. It just makes me feel better about myself for some reason. I don't know why. That's just, his voice is just amazing. Alright, then a few other cast members. I have them written down, guys. I don't remember their names. Bob Gunton plays the warden. Clancy Brown plays guard Haley, the main sadistic guard in the movie. And Jeffrey D. Munn, or Dale from The Walking Dead, plays one of the lawyers in the movie. Just wanted to mention that. The warden was very good in the movie, as was the sadistic guard, Haley, Clancy Brown. They were very, very good in this movie. Now, getting into my rating, guys... What can I say? It's a movie I thought was going to be very, very solid. A very strong movie about friendship and all that. I thought about all that going in. And I came out and I finished the movie saying, this is simply one of the best films I've ever seen on screen. One of the best. You know, the movie is the type of movie where there's so much dialogue in this movie. A lot of lines of dialogue, exchange between characters, okay? A lot of narration. There's a lot of that in this movie. That could get boring, but it doesn't get boring in any scene. Literally, I was taken aback by every single scene in the movie. I was drawn into the characters and what was going on in the story and how convincing the story was and how well put together, well executed it was. And for that reason, I absolutely love The Shawshank Redemption. It's one of the best written films of all time and one of the biggest Oscar snubs, or this is one of the biggest letdowns in regards to no Oscar wins, in my opinion. It is a masterpiece of a movie that must be seen by everybody who loves movies, guys. I'm going the highest I will go. Perfect 10 out of 10. It sucks you in from the minute the movie starts to the minute the credits roll. I love The Shawshank Redemption. A+, 10 out of 10. It's a perfect movie, guys, in nearly every sense of the word, okay? And getting into the things I loved about this movie, I don't hate anything about this movie. I loved every single aspect. Every single thing works with Frank Darabont's The Shawshank Redemption. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins are absolutely flawless in the movie. Give extraordinary performances. They have insane chemistry with one another. They really portray these two guys who meet each other, grow a friendship that lasts throughout the whole entire movie, and they portrayed it excellently. Excellent, excellent job from both of them. They carried the movie. They fueled this movie and made me care about it and its characters that much more. Okay? The cinematography is done by Roger Deakins. It was excellent in my opinion. The movie is so well edited. It's a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. It could get long. It could get very, it could get slow, but it never feels boring, or it never felt like it would drag on. I was engaged from the beginning to the end in that the movie was so well, the exposition, I mean the execution of the story and the script and the characters was so well done. I found myself caring so much about these characters. They were so fully developed, and I loved it. The movie was very well edited. Cinematography was absolutely excellent. The score by Thomas Newman. Thomas Newman is not only one of my favorite composers of all time, but it's just something about his scores just adds to the emotion and the beauty of the scenes in this movie. Okay, the score fits perfectly in the desired scene, in each scene that is played. Each different track is excellent. In the scenes that are touching and the scenes that really hit your heart, It gets to you. And the scenes that are uplifting and inspiring, it makes you feel uplifting and inspired. Thomas Newman knows how to produce good music for each scene. That's what I love about the guy. He is just an excellent composer. Blows me away with every one of his scores. Love the guy. Excellent job with the score for the movie. Fit this movie beautifully. Just added to my enjoyment and my captivation, and how well the movie captivated me. The score helped, without a doubt. And finally, not only did Frank Darabont do a great job directing this movie, but as I said earlier, this is one of the best written movies of all time. No part of the dialogue between the characters in this movie feels boring. There is a scene between Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. They're in a courtyard, they're talking with one another, and it's towards the end of the movie. It touched me. Okay? The movie is touching, it's emotionally rewarding, it's emotional itself, it's emotionally rewarding, like I said. It's inspiring, it's uplifting. There's even dialogue or interchange between the prisoners. They're in this bleak situation. They try to make the best of it with some humor. They make jokes about certain things that go on in the prison. Actually got me into the laugh a few times, even though the movie is a lot more serious. It's not a comedy with, you know, that's not what I'm getting at. The interchange between the prisoners was great. The lines between Freeman and Tim Robbins was excellent, in my opinion. The story itself is a great tale of redemption and of self-victory, perseverance, friendship. All that is so beautifully portrayed in this movie. The movie has an excellent message about hope and the perseverance of the human spirit, and that even though we may be in a very bleak or dire situation, we got to keep hope alive. That is what we have to do. And even though you may not fully relate to the characters in this movie and that you've probably never been in prison before, you can definitely relate to the fact that when you're in a bad situation, you can definitely keep hope alive, as does Tim Robbins' character does. Tim Robbins, yeah, there we go. I forgot his last name for a second. I mean, that is how good the writing is. It's one of the best written movies I've ever seen in my life. With the third act, my goodness, guys, the third act of this movie just blew me away. I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and then there's a shot, a character does something, rips something off a wall, and I'm blown away. I'm sitting there, I'm blown away, and I'm like, holy crap. And as the scene plays out, flawless. Just flawless in my opinion. Flawless writing, flawless execution, and a perfect, satisfying ending that really says a lot about friendship. And that is why I love the Shawshank Redemption. You could say that they glossed over the prison sentence and that the movie is set over a long period of time and they really rushed through that. You know what? I let go of that fact. I love this movie, guys. It's one of the best things I've ever watched. Ever. I love this movie. 10 out of 10. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. Guys, what do you think of the Shawshank Redemption? Please let me know down below. Do you love the movie as much as I did? Please let me know your thoughts on it. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks as always for watching, guys. I very much appreciate it. See you guys in the next old movie review. Bye, guys.